everyone. Today we're going to be going over Gen Con 2023. So this is our wrap-up video for Gen Con. We did have a lot of fun things. We'll be going over some highlights, some of the best sellers, and some of the best sellers to us, as well as some enjoyable moments. Now, Robert, can you tell us kind of what you did this con?
Yes, so I did my usual. I always volunteer for Chip Theory Games, so I did that again this year. So I had a great time with them. Awesome company and awesome crew. So that was my Thursday and Friday, and mainly talked about Hoplomachus Victorum, which is an amazing game. And then on Friday as well, I did volunteer for Big Game Night with AEG. So I got to teach Randy and Miranda and Andy and Marcy the games that got released at for AEG at the con. So that was always fun. And unlike previous years, I got to walk around and hang out with Randy mostly, and because you stayed busy through the whole con, so it was mostly me and Randy hanging out the last couple of days, and I haven't done that in a long time. So
and you buying a ton of stuff.
I did buy a ton.
A lot.
A lot. I bought some big box games.
Best part was he kept saying he was done shopping. He was not going to buy any more, and then he bought more.
I bought another game.
And then he said, eventually he just said, "Shut it, Randy," because I kept teasing him about it.
Well, I mean, I tell you what, I really greatly appreciate you actually having some free time, so it was really nice to actually hang out with you during the con.
Yeah.
What little I did hang out, because as you said, I was running events. So we ran quite a few events this year. We started out with open game night, Wednesday night. We were right above the stink, I guess is what you call it.
Yeah.
Which for the fans of Gen Con event.
Yeah, so I think we did lose a few people before they made it to us, because they had to go through that event to get to ours.
And nobody wants to go through the stink.
Yeah,
yes.
Nobody. And then I ended up running Tzolk'in, which we ended up with players that knew how to play, so I didn't have to teach it. So it was actually a really good game. And then we also played Ladies and Gentlemen, one of my favorite. We had a great crowd. We were totally heckling the whole entire time. It was great. And then Friday, I spent all day teaching golf, the Table Golf Association game. And I think everyone had an absolute blast. Saturday, I ended up running 2 different events for awkward guests. And then sadly, Tuesday for lunch, I ended up getting some onion in my food, which put me out for the count for the rest of Saturday, which is really a bummer, because that's what I had slated to go walk the hall and actually play games with people, but I was in my hotel room dying. And then Sunday, we did end up playing 2 of Union Stockyards, as well as get to go about the vendor hall. I got to hang out with a lot of cool people after the fact. So that was my con. It was busy running events, but I did absolutely have a blast. What about you, Randy?
I did mostly shopping, and
usual.
Thursday is normally the light day. Thursday, we'll talk about it more here in a little while, but it basically was total chaos and very congested, which was very down-putting. Started off on a somber note. I didn't get a lot of the things on day one that I thought I would get.
Hey, I got what I was responsible for.
But by the end of the con, I was able to get most of the things I was after. There's a few things I didn't manage. We'll talk about that here in a minute as well.
Yep. All right. So let's then talk about the best sellers. What ran out at con? So I tell you one thing. We're going to talk about this now, because if we don't.
Yeah.
So this is
the hotly contested
Lorcana
promo
card.
Along with the button. So this game created disaster.
Yes.
Okay, so
it was definitely the hottest seller of the convention.
Yes, absolutely. There were lines that started at 6 p.m. the previous day. So basically, as soon as the vendor hall closed, it kept going until the day was open. Now, there were people sleeping in the halls trying to get this game. It is a card game, obviously Disney themed. I hope it was good for them.
It's kind of a blending of Magic. If you're one of the 2 people in the world that haven't heard of this game, it was a blending of Magic the Gathering style gameplay, or more specifically, more like Versus, which is the game we play, and Disney, of course. And of course, it was going to be a hot seller. Everybody knew it was going to be a hot seller. It was not handled like it was going to be a hot seller.
Yeah. The first day, they had a semi-system, and it ended up getting destroyed because of people. Now, one thing with the caveat, this may have been kind of the direct cause. There were people hurt the first day.
And that's my big negative.
That's my big negative.
You know, the FOMO was frothing in people's mouths for this game. So they did not prepare well on Thursday, and it unfortunately led someone getting trampled, their leg getting pretty seriously hurt.
Yeah.
Another person I heard like yelled out was screaming because they got in pain. I don't know exactly what their
Somebody
injury was.
got in a wheelchair, got tipped over.
Yeah, and then
I mean,
and then you probably saw the news where $300,000 of a card game, which we could probably.
Well,
assume.
I don't know that it was this one, but there was
No, it was
definitely-
Magic. They found
Oh,
it.
was it
Yeah,
Magic?
it was
But still,
definitely a
a
popular
massive
card
amount
game.
of product got stolen.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's just
There's just no game on earth that's worth that.
absolutely
I mean,
not. And
Yeah.
you know, I just wish that people were a little bit more cognizant of each other. And like,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
just a game.
Yeah. Now, I will say there were a lot of great people.
Oh, absolutely.
Because
It's
I was in line, not in that line, not on purpose, but it was where I needed to be on that first day to get the game that Randy wanted me to get. And a lot of them were great and
Mhm.
gracious, and they gave plenty of space to everybody. But there were a few
There was a
that
few.
was pushing their way through.
I mean, there was even a gentleman with a cane that when you.
Oh, that was towards the end when I was trying to get to the Pandasaurus booth, and the line shifted, and he got kind of pushed through. I had to let him get through.
Yeah.
Because he didn't even want to be in the line. He just got to a line, just kind
I
of
know,
sucked him up.
Yeah.
And I was like, "Here, go through, sir. You don't need to." Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, so
So-
there were some amazing people, and I think they were very respectful people. But then there were,
I think the majority, by far,
Yeah,
the majority
yeah,
were great.
yeah.
It's just a few small bad apples that, you know, hopefully, and it's hopefully people that, even though they may have did it poorly, made some bad judgment, they enjoy the game and it's not a scalper.
Yeah,
because
will,
that would be even worse.
Well, I will say, I think the biggest issue was the fact that they put the show in the middle of the exhibit hall, the
Yeah.
booth, which they put it towards the front, which is good, but it blockaded several rows,
Yeah.
aisles where there were
Yeah.
popular games that were coming out as well, and it made it harder for people
Yeah,
like me that were trying to get to those booths because
Mhm.
you couldn't get past that crowd. You charmed your way through somehow to get over to get that game, but
I like talking to
I'm
people,
not
and
that
I was
charming.
basically like, I don't want that game that you're wanting. I want this other game, and people were like,
Okay.
so yeah,
Nice
I
competition.
I decided to take
I'm helping you.
I decided to take the indirect route, which is to go in the other entrance, go all the way to the back, and go around and come back.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, when there's only 25 copies of a game, that doesn't bode well for your chances.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So we got this out of the way. Obviously, a hot seller.
Yeah, we did not
sell
get
out.
work
We-
on
it
it.
did.
Let's point that out.
Yeah, we tried and not even came close.
well, I wasn't even caring about
Yeah.
it. You're kind of like,
I-
well, if it's there, I'll get it.
Yeah, I wanted to get it, but I wasn't going to go out of my
Sacrifice
way.
leg and
But
limb.
Yeah,
But if you made any purchase at all at the booth, they gave you the promo
yeah.
card. So
And it's like going to be like later this month or early next month when it's
Yeah.
going to be available in retail.
yeah, and people were scalping that card online for like originally it was like $1,400, $1,800. Now it's like under $100 if you're lucky. You
Yeah.
know, and it's because they gave it away to everybody. I mean,
Mhm.
there's no reason to be paying those kind of prices.
Yeah. So,
But that's, I think, our only real negative of the whole combo.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I don't think, and again, it's no slight on Lorcana.
No,
It's-
no, absolutely
The
not.
game itself could be amazing. I wouldn't know. It's just the way it was handled on day one, and they
fixed it on the rest of
180 the rest
yeah.
of the
Now,
time.
to be fair, though, there was a system in place on day one. What happened was people tore down the
Well, no, it was
line
announced by a representative that there was no official line,
when there was.
and it turned into
just
confusion and mass hysteria.
And,
It was
Yes.
just not great.
downhill after that.
Yeah. So
So-
it went badly.
Yeah, it could have gone a lot worse. So thankfully it didn't, and you
Yeah.
know, from that point forward, it was well managed.
Yeah.
Yes, it was. Absolutely agreed with that. All right. So what is the next thing that
So
ran out?
first of all, Last Light was one I said this is the third time I've looked at it at a convention. This is my time to get it. No, it wasn't. It was sadly 25 copies a day, and it was on the other side of Lorcana. So as a result, I did not get it. Good news is it's going to be coming back to Kickstarter with an expansion. I talked to the design, or not the designer, but the publisher, and he said, yeah, it's coming out back to Kickstarter. So, and honestly, it'll be better pricing probably.
Yeah, 'cause
that
it was
way,
like
because it was $320 for the
Yeah.
all-in there, which was more expensive than the Kickstarter originally was. So I'm assuming they'll go back to something closer to the Kickstarter prices, but you never know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to wait for the Kickstarter on it, but it was kind of sad. And I did see a lot of people did get it, so kudos to you guys that did get it,
Yeah,
because it
looks amazing.
it does look amazing. It is a 4X game. If you don't like 4X games, probably not for you, but it's beautiful.
Looks so good.
Another of the hot sellers is the expansion for Lost Ruins of Arnak. This sold out. You had the pre-orders.
I missed out on it, and I'll just have to wait till it comes to retail.
So
got it.
I did pre-order it, so I was able to get mine without a problem. And we did get to meet with CGE at the. That was your first time getting to meet with them.
That was really cool.
So
that was fun.
Yeah, they were fun to talk to every time. So we're still I also got to demo Kutna Ora,
which is what we're excited for.
I'm super stoked after playing it. And so far, I hate to spoil our best of the year, but so far Marrakesh is winning. Kutna Ora may beat it. So
it looks so good.
It is. It's something to watch out for later in the year. So another one that was a hot one to get
Super hot.
This one. Rob thankfully was able to get for me. Queen by Midnight. This one was selling every day. They had a short supply too. I think they had like 100 copies.
It's about 100 a day, but it would sell out within seconds.
Yes, there's a line that would form at the very back. It was at the back of the not even all the way back.
But it was the high number end.
Yeah, it was the high number end and towards the back. But the line would go all the way to the back and to past the restrooms. And I got in the line, and they basically, about 4 people in front of me, there was a person standing, and they said, if you're beyond this, you can stand in the line if you want, but you're not going to get the game. So I decided I didn't really want to spend my day standing in a line for a game I'm not going to get. So I did. The good news is on the last day, they took pre-orders with free shipping. A lot of people are doing that, and I appreciate that. So if you missed out on a lot of the games, they took the opportunity to let you order it online. Most of the times it was free shipping. So you could get this
and it's
delivered
guaranteed press, by the way.
Yeah, they did that at Origins too for one of the popular games there. That they, and they actually give a discount if you ordered it online, so it was cheaper than at the convention. So that was nice.
That was like a really good deck builder.
Yeah, this one it's kind of a take that a little bit though. Basically, you're fighting to try to build your deck up to conquer. Mm-hmm. This one, it's not quite as hot of a seller as the others, but I think it's mostly because they have more quantity. The Rich and the Good. This one is one that was on my list to go for. It's basically one where you're getting you're building your wealth in the game, but you always have to contribute to charity. And if you're the one at the end of the game who contributed the least to charity while building your wealth, you automatically can't win. So we haven't had a chance to play any of these yet, so I can't tell you which ones are going to be my hot ones. But it was one that was selling really well. By the end, it was gone.
Yeah.
That. World Wonders from Arcane Wonders. This came out. It was one of their hot sellers. It's got some really beautiful pieces in it as far as the screen printing. There's a few that were questionable, but we won't go into that in detail. But this one was a very popular one. It also sold out.
And it looks interesting.
Yeah. Then there were, from Pandasaurus, there were 2 that sold out. One of them, which was not really up my alley. It was, that one was sea salt and paper.
Yeah, sea salt.
And it was an origami card game, and it sold like crazy. So it was maybe one I overlooked.
I think it's a hidden gem one because I never heard of it until you brought it up.
Yeah, I had marked it to look at, but I had not said this is one I want.
Yeah.
So I could have pre-ordered it, chose not to. This one I missed out on the pre-order for. This is Emerge. This was their other hot seller. This one was a little easier to get because I think it was more pricey than the other one, and the other one seemed to be the one that got the mass appeal. But this one sold out every day as well, so I was able to thankfully get it on the last day, I guess.
And we were able to get our buddy Andy a copy too.
Yeah, got it. Friend Andy. This is one I went for. I don't know if it ever sold out officially. Wild Child West.
Just looks super fun.
Yeah, sadly I got a copy either that had a hole in the back or I punched one in the process of carrying games.
Yeah, it got a hole in the back.
But it has a hole in the back, yeah. But it looks beautiful, and matter of fact, when I
think the most
opened
impressive part is the boards.
The player boards are amazing. It's got Tetris-y style pieces, and it's a Western theme, which we love. So this we'll have to get dust off the Wednesday Western Wednesdays.
Yeah, Western Wednesdays.
And Rob ended up picking up a copy of this too because
he opened it up in the hotel room, and I was like, man, those player boards look fantastic.
Yeah.
And I was like, all right, I gotta go look at getting one.
So those are the ones that I called hot. So beyond that, there was the expansion to the War of the Ring. That one was sold crazy. Yeah, that one sold out crazy. I think that was from Aries as well. And
yeah, I think they were surprised about how quickly it sold out.
I don't know if they were.
The one guy I talked to over the Aries booth, he seemed relatively surprised about how quickly that game sold out.
Yeah, they didn't have a whole lot of quantity. They had to fly it in, and it sold within like an hour.
Yeah. So with Aries, their philosophy was like, if whatever we brought, we're going to sell until it's gone.
Mm-hmm.
And I like that a little bit better than maybe some other companies, because like with Last Light, there's no way I'd have been able to get one of the 25 each day. I'm just not too fat and lazy. I'm not going to race like that. So there's no way. And so I kind of like the fact that if you're aware of it, you'd have a better chance of getting it on the first day than just a little bit each day. So I kind of like that philosophy a little bit better.
Yeah. So let's talk about our most exciting purchases. So I only bought a game I'm not going to talk about because it's Randy's Christmas gift, so I'm not going to tell you about it.
I won't pay attention to watch this video.
Secret though, because I'm really into one of them.
I won't pay attention to watch this video. You can show it.
And then the second one I bought for you. So I don't count that, but there is a game that Randy got that is my favorite. So we kickstarted this, but we were able to pick it up.
Well, we were.
It's Lunar Rush. I'm so excited.
Yeah,
we will be seeing this very, very shortly because I require it.
Yeah, so she kickstarted it, but
I kickstarted it.
But you kickstarted it for her.
I did it for her,
and so it was a good story.
Well, we interviewed them on the channel, and when we interviewed them, she was like, "This is really great," and we played a demo of it at the one is it Origins one year.
I don't know what it was.
Yeah, I think it was Origins.
I was so happy.
And after you left, she was like, "I got to get this game right away." And I was like, well, you got to wait for the Kickstarter. You got to wait for the Kickstarter. And we get to Gen Con, and they were selling it at Gen Con, which usually puts me off when you back a Kickstarter and it's for sale. But when I went to the booth, they said...
You asked them.
Yeah, I said, when will this be available for the Kickstarters? And they said, oh, well, if you want it, you can pick it up here today. And they bundled it for me. I've never seen it. Usually you have to advance notice and all this. They actually bundled it right there on the spot, and they said there was a few pieces that they had not gotten in yet, so those would not be available, but they'd ship them to us free, and we already paid for shipping, so relatively free. So they, gave us, the copy, and they let you were
there. Yeah, so I mean, it looked really good, and she's been hyping it for like ever, so it's like
it's all
really
we've
interesting.
Heard.
Yeah, so I was like, can I buy one too? Because I didn't kickstart it, and so can I buy one? Like, sure. And so I bought it.
Your friend with it.
Yeah. So you we Kickstarter where you got a little stuffy to go with it. It's a little moon. He's working out though with his little headband.
Well, he eats all that green cheese, so he's got it.
There you go.
So he's a working out guy. So this is the thing that I'm most excited that we picked up. Because other than that, the only thing I bought a few novels, the Terraforming Mars novels. I'll tell you if they're any good. And because we love Terraforming Mars so much. I bought a few other novels, and then I bought upgrade pieces for Zulkins. But this is my all-time favorite thing that we got. What about you, Rob? What is your...
So I usually try and do one big buy. I mean, I got other games too, but my big buy is I went all in and got the Final Girl package, the Gen Con exclusive. So it's all two, both Series 1 and Series 2, and the miniatures and all that. So I'm super stoked for that and playing that because I've heard nothing but good things about Final Girl. And so I'm really stoked to play that. And I think other than that, I just picked up some good looking games. I got Barcelona, which looks really good. I was able to get Lunar Rush. I picked up the Wild Child West. And so some other purchases I got that I'm pretty excited about. I got the Dragonbane role-playing game from Free League Press. It looks really good. Heard good things about that. And that was pretty big at the con. It was very popular. And then I got, through our friends Brandon and Sarah, they won an auction and got this cool amount of stuff for the Power Rangers role-playing game. And I wouldn't initially go out on my own to buy that. I like the Power Rangers, don't get me wrong, but that's not something I would have done. But we kind of did a trade. I gave them a copy of Deep Dive, and they gave me that stuff they won through the auction. But some clever marketing on their part, it didn't come with the core rulebook.
Yeah.
So therefore, I had to go buy the core rulebook. And then when I bought the core rulebook, of course they had dice for each color ranger. And I only got one. I got the green. So then I had to buy dice for all the different colors of rangers. So I spent another $100 on something I wasn't anticipating. But But I'm really super stoked for Final Girl. If you played it, let me know what you think of it. Maybe give me some pointers. Here's a priority.
Yeah, and also just you mentioned Brandon
Yeah.
and Matt.
Yeah, congratulations to them.
Congratulations! They won
Yeah.
another Annie there, which is one of the role playing game awards for wedding games for one of
Yeah.
their products. So that was amazing. So
Yeah, they won second place.
Yeah.
Got silver.
Yep, that's awesome. All right, Randy, what was your biggest,
Well,
happiest purchase?
honestly, I can't say because I haven't played the games yet. The only one we've actually broken out and played at Gen Con, I have to say, it was not even like on my must-have list. It was on my investigate list, but I wasn't sure on it because you've said in the past that you're not a big fan of you choose, you split, I choose.
Yeah.
Type games, and this one definitely was that, but it looks so darn pretty, and I had to get it, and that's called The Great Split. And we played this on Saturday night, I believe, and we tried to go up to the gaming hall on JW, the ballroom, but it was just completely packed, and we had a wagon full of games, so all of our new stuff we were going to try to play, and we ended up settling in the lobby at a two tall bar stool tables, and we had to push them together. And while we were setting up we're getting ready to play and teach the game, we had somebody stop by and was just admiring the game, just looking over our shoulders. And we said, hey, this plays up to 7. You want to join us? So he sat down and joined us.
He specifically said he wanted to play a game before going to bed.
Yeah.
I was like, so sure.
So we invited him, and he sat down, and we're like introducing ourselves, and he's like, he said, I'm a game designer, and it's like, oh, what'd you design? He's like, have you heard of Wits and Wagers? Have you heard of Evolution? And it's like,
yeah, Dominic from North Star Games.
Yeah.
I was like, whoa.
So we were just completely in awe.
We
And
love Evolution.
we ended up having the best time playing with him, and unfortunately, during that, our friend Paul decided to pull one on me, and he
Which
took
is
a
great.
picture of us. I'll put it here so you can get a good
Admire
laugh too. Because I was chewing down his really delicious brownie at the moment, but he decided to snap the picture, and everybody else got this beautiful smile on there, and I'm
And
like,
he's like, "Roar."
so yeah, it was not.
I had to post on Facebook. Andy posted on Facebook.
I asked Paul to wait till I finished digesting and let me take the photo again. He's like, nope. And he put
Click.
the phone away. So, no, yeah, I'll get you, Paul. That was a good one.
It was great.
So,
Well, I was very surprised how good it was. I liked it so much. I had to go on Amazon.
yeah,
buy it.
it's
sold out
beautiful.
by the Big
It's-
River Group, but it was so
Yeah.
pretty and good.
It captures the Great Gatsby feel.
Yeah, it does.
The look. And it just, when I saw the pieces, I'm like, I think she might try this. And then we played it, and I'm like, I think she really will like this after we played it. And as it turned out, she did like it. Everyone played it. We'll be having our review shortly on this one.
Yep.
But yeah, it was a big seller. And matter of fact, Paul went out and got a copy, ordered a copy. You ordered a copy. I don't know about Andy and Marcy, whether they did or not. Or Dominic, I don't know if you did. But it was definitely one of our favorites.
It was a pleasant surprise.
And so far, it's the only one I've got to play of my new games.
All right, so let's talk about the greatest highlight that we had there. What was the thing that you enjoyed the most at the con? Rob, what you got for us?
I don't know. Probably the picture of Randy in the middle eating his brownie while playing the Great Split because it was so funny. And me being able to be the first person to post them on Facebook was pretty awesome too.
Yeah, and then Andy made it his wallpaper on his Facebook. I'm not going to live this one down for a long time.
I mean, usually there's like one funny moment that I remember the most. Randy's got some embarrassing stories of me at Gen Con, so that's some of his favorite moments. So
some of which we can't share on video.
So this one's going to be mine. So,
all right, Randy, what is your biggest highlight for the con?
Well, I always enjoy that I get to meet with other publishers and designers, and getting to meet with Dominic was a highlight.
That was.
It
was a blessing, really, because just the
sheer randomness.
Yeah, he and I kind of clicked. We talked quite a bit.
Yeah, you guys were really into it all.
And so, I mean, just hearing his views about making games, and he talked about his philosophy about rule making. It was just so interesting.
Yeah, so that was great. Just meeting that we got to meet with CGE. We got to meet with a kind of two different indie designers, people who are doing their own self-designed games. Got to one of whom has offered to come to our house and teach us the game. So
which will be awesome.
That's going to be really fun. And it was that experience, and also just we ran into some other content creators who were like, "Hey, we know you guys," and that felt good, to be recognized, because we're not that big, know. So to be recognized by other content creators, and then I tried to say, let's get together and do some partnerships, because one of them's pretty local. I mean, and we've done that with NB Board Gaming, which sadly we missed them. They were at the con, but we did not ever.
I know. I saw them on. They messaged on something on Facebook. They posted, and I was like, we need to meet up.
Yeah.
But I don't think I have their number, so I was unable to do that. I think for me, my biggest highlight was actually Ladies and Gentlemen. I love that game so much.
That was fun.
And to play with a group of people that just totally hammed it up. It was great. I absolutely loved it. It was an absolute blast.
Part of the game, if you haven't played it, there's people who have to draft tiles, and you're trying to get the best tile collection, but you can only use one hand. And one of the players came with a plastic cigar that he held just to prevent him from using that hand, and it fit into his character. He played a character during the film. It was so fun.
It was so great.
Just the fact that they prepared, and they loved the game so much that they wanted to do this, and it made those two in particular. The whole group was great, but those two in particular helped draw out the others. I think.
Yeah, I know. I will definitely be running that event again next year, I may even put costumes. Totally would be awesome. I will be dressing up next year just to get the feel for it.
And what about your golf event?
So my golf event was a lot of fun. And here's the thing. This is the one thing I will say I absolutely loved. There were so many wonderful people that I interacted with. Everyone had a lot of fun. And I truly enjoy bringing laughter and fun to everyone. It is something that's truly, it's sharing a passion, right? Yeah. We're sharing the passion of board games, and that's literally why we do what we do, specifically this channel. All of us volunteer and teach, and
I look forward to that at Gen Con more than anything else. Yes, I want to play with my friends and family, but I also love teaching games, and I love sharing that experience, especially when you see it click. When you see them oh, this is so cool. And it's one of your favorite games too, so you can both geek out over it together. Mm-hmm. It's just so fun, and it's rewarding.
Yeah. So definitely, I really enjoyed all the people that I interacted with and teaching those games and bringing that to them. All right, guys. Well, I think we're about to wrap this up. I do know that we will definitely be back next year for Gen Con 2024. Yep. We are going to be doing, I think, a lot more events, a lot of our
hopefully
own stuff.
Less people will attend. It was 89,000 people-ish. Somewhere there. Crazy amounts of people.
Yeah, it was crazy. The article I read said over 70,000. I don't think they've given the final number yet.
No, not yet.
But
just crazy numbers. It's supposed to be they have said it broke the record.
It broke the record. Yes, it definitely did. But we will be back because we're always there. We're also highlighting some things for Origins. I think we're going to get some stuff for Origins together.
I should be able to attend Origins next year.
And it looks like I think we may have plans to try to do one of the Louisville or Lexington cons as well. We'll that's still in the works. I think we got invited by a couple of people to do that. So overall, this con was fantastic. And
except for I didn't get to play Battlestar. I got to sort of play Battlestar.
Yeah, I got to play a round.
We got to play a few rounds around the table, and then somebody had to leave, and of course you can't reset from there. But at least I introduced it to a couple of new people, and they seem to enjoy it. But I would like to finish a game. So maybe I'll start an event for that next year. Maybe I will host an event. That'll be different.
Yeah, there you go.
And one of our fans who spent quite a bit of time with, Ryan. Hello.
Yeah, Ryan. It was a blast spending time with him.
We got to hang out with Rob. Not for long. He came to the game night. We had a few people.
Yeah, and thanks for joining me for my birthday dinner, Ryan.
Yeah. So we had a lot of great times. So hopefully you'll come hang out with us at whatever con we attend. We'll guys keep you posted on the conventions. Definitely come hang out and play with us. That's why we do what we do. We'll catch you guys later. Bye.
Bye.